Welcome back to Tansy Academy. In this video, we'll be talking about hospital management project. Let's break our discussion into three parts. First part will be talking about the business requirements for this project, hospital management project. Part 2 will discuss about the database task, what will be your role, what will be coding, how you're going to create tables, and how you're going to write stored procedures, views, triggers, and how you're going to write dashboard queries. How you're going to upload data to these tables. That will be part 2. In part 3, we'll be talking about overall project, like how you're going to accomplish this project, complete it, how you're going to submit for review, and then we Tansy team, how you're going to pass back our feedback to you, and then so that you can get a project completion status in your entire SQL training course at Tansy Academy. So this hospital management is one of the 8 projects that we have as part of our training course. A student can select any one project to begin with. Depending on time, he can do all the 8 projects, or he can do 1 or 2 projects. So the scope of the project hospital management system, we have simplified the scope, reduced the scope, so that a student can handle the database project in about 1 or 2 weeks. So at the high level, the objective is to build a database system to efficiently manage hospital operations, including patient admission, appointments, billing, and prescriptions. This means you will be creating data to mimic the appointments or billings or you have to create the data. You have to write update statements to manipulate existing data. You have to write select statements to query what are the appointments, what is the balance due for a patient. And then the tables, we will be giving you the design for the tables. You will be creating the tables as part of chapter 5 assignment. This discussion will happen in part 2. And then we have broken this, divided this entire hospital management into 5 modules. This is the standard practice in enterprise software development. They will see it break down the software into different modules and try to accomplish one module at a time, or depending upon the IT team, all the development of the software development might happen across all the modules. So here we have broken down this into 6 modules: patient and admission module, doctor and nurse module, room and appointment module, and then billing and payment module, prescription and medication module, and department management. Let me explain you a little bit in detail about what happens in each software module in terms of business day-to-day business operations. In patient and admission management module, you track patient details and admission records, including treatment description, dates. When I say tracks, right, you have to create the tables, you have to insert data to mimic this business operations. Okay. And then in room and appointment scheduling module, you will manage room availability and appointment scheduling with doctors. In doctor and nurse module, you will be storing details of doctors, nurses, and their department assignments. In billing and payment module, you will track billing details, track payment status, and balance amount. Again, you have to insert data, manipulate data, retrieve data to mimic all these business requirements. We'll be discussing in detail about the SQL task to accomplish this. In the prescription and medication module, you will manage prescription, medication details, and dosage schedules. In audit logging, you will log critical system activities for auditing and manage hospital departments. So at the high level, this is how the data flow in the software application. You have department and you have multiple doctors working for a department, and then you have an appointment. You will be having in the appointment, you need to have a doctor and you need to have a patient. But here the thing is, the way we have designed this project is, a patient will come in and you will be creating an admission record. You will be creating an admission record even for an inpatient or outpatient. The moment patient comes in for any treatment, you will create admission report, and you will close this admission record once the entire treatment is done, when the patient is discharged or he stops coming. And the same patient can come again next year, so you have to create this second admission record, the different admission record. Okay, so it's like a admission is like for a given treatment for a given time period. And then this admission record of a patient will be having appointment. It's not the patient directly having the appointment. And then admission, after creating admission patient admission record, this will be driven down into an appointment, or if you are an inpatient, you will be having an admit record. If the patient is outpatient, then you'll be creating appointment and billing. Okay, so you'll have a billing for doctor appointments, billing for room admits, billing for medication. So you'll be having different billings here go against a admission record, patient admission record. And then patient has to make payments. He can make multiple payments for each bill. Here we have room and nurse. They will be monitoring the room admits. We have the patient here. So to go little bit detail, here I have data model describing the table name, column name, primary key, foreign key. I assume at this level you understand what a table is, what a primary key is, what a foreign key is. I'm not going to go in detail. In total, we have 100 different topics in our training course, and we cover these topics in detail in regular Zoom meetings. So here let's start with a patient table. Okay, so here you track details of the patient in the patient table. As I said, once patient shows up, you will be creating a patient admission record here, and then admit type will be either inpatient or outpatient. If it is a inpatient, he will be admitting into some room. So you have a room here, and then you also have nurse assigned to the room. Okay, so if it is inpatient, after creating patient admission, you have to create data for room admit. And then if it is outpatient or inpatient, you will be having doctor appointments. So here this is the table where you store the appointments. You have admission ID. Again, patient is not directly linked to appointment, it is linked via patient admission. So you'll be having admission ID here, doctor ID here, room ID, and then what date and time this appointment happens. And then a doctor will prescribe you the medicines against a patient admission. Okay, and then this table medication will have detailed medication. If you have multiple medicines to take, that detail will be shown up here. Okay, and then what else we have? Yeah, we talked about room, a nurse, and then audit. Doctor belongs to a department. Yeah, and then we talked about billing, I guess. Yeah, so you'll be billed for different activities within admission, and then you have the patient will be billed for different activities within admission, and the patient will pay. He can make multiple payments for a given bill. Let's say his room admit charges is $1,000. He can make that in 3 payments on any given date. Or if his medication bill is like $200, maybe he has to pay it once, or he can have choice of paying it multiple times. Same way he will be charged even for the doctor appointment. So there might be different billing events happening within a given patient admission record. And then here let's discuss about each table with one line definition. The bold one is the table name. In patient table, we store patient details including personal and contact information. In patient admission table, tracks admission records including treatment description and admission types. Okay, this is very key table. Most of the students misunderstand this. Make sure that you understand this properly. When a patient comes in, you create a patient admission record, and after that only you can create a appointment or a room admit against this patient admission record, not against the patient. Okay, room, it manages room details such as room type, number, and daily rate. Room admit tracks room assignments for admitted patients including start and end dates. Doctor, even room admit will track nurse who is in charge of that particular room. Doctor stores information about doctor table. Okay, it stores information about doctors, their specialization, and their pre-visit charges. Nurse table tracks nurse details. And appointment table, it logs, you will be logging patient appointments with doctors including schedule and statuses. In the prescription table, it will track the high level prescription information. In the medication table, you will track the individual medicine names and their dosage. Billing is records billing information for patients including total amount and bill type, whether this bill is for room charges or is it for doctor appointment or is it for medication. In payment, you track payments received against bills from the patients including amounts and dates. Department table stores detail about hospital departments. Doctor department links doctor to their respective departments. And then finally, audit log table logs key system actions for auditing and compliance purposes. Continuing further with our discussion, Let's compare the projects that you will be doing as part of your SQL training with the real world projects. As explained before, real world projects typically consist of 500 to 1000 database tables to manage complex business operations. This is the case when you talk about your banking project or your food delivery app. And then it's developed in real world. It's the software is developed and maintained by teams of 100 plus IT professionals working for several years, and it involves raw large scale coordination across multiple domain system and stakeholders. But our SQL training projects at Trans Academy, it has a reduced scope, designed with under 20 tables to cover core business operations. And it is a focused learning, includes essential database concepts, ensuring comprehensive coverage of real world scenarios. And most important is it's tailored for stu- students to complete each project within 1 to 2 weeks, aligning with their learning pace. So it's you might have guessed now, it's not possible for one person to complete the project similar to the real world project where there are 500 to 1000 tables. It cannot be done by an individual. You need a team of 100 plus people to perform such large scale projects. And key takeaway from this discussion is these training projects will cover all SQL skills that are commonly asked during interviews, and it will make it easier for you to crack SQL related job interviews. Completing all 8 projects equips you with SQL expertise equivalent to or exceeding 1 plus year of real world experience. And this is true. Let's say that you targeted to do the first project with some help, and then in the second project you will try to be more independent, and in third project you are 100% independent, and in the fourth project your confidence level will go up. So by the time you complete all 8 projects, I would say completing 8 projects experience is equal to someone working for 1 plus year in a real world project. Okay. And then we have about 100 lessons in our SQL training course, and we cover these lessons in detail during our regular Zoom classes. And apart from covering those 100 topics in regular Zoom classes, I will be taking up one of the 8 projects, and I will be completing all the assignments, and I will show you how to code the project end to end on a given database platform during our regular Zoom classes. And this includes designing the database, writing queries, implementing end to end functionalities. And after I complete each assignment under a project, I will be sharing the code for you so that you can use that project. See, you will be having video recording, you will also have the code for that project. Then using these two resources, you will have to implement the SQL skill set for the project that you are doing independently. Individual projects use the share logic techniques and structure to complete your individual projects independently. Okay, this ensures hand-on learning while building confidence in applying SQL skills. And most important thing is this question comes up like, okay, so our training supports 4 different database platforms: MySQL, Postgres, Oracle, and MS SQL Server. So you can choose any of the platform for your project. We will support you, we will review your project on any of these platforms. Okay. And the key point is, let's say if you want to challenge yourself, why don't you take up one project per database platform, so that you will gain broader SQL experience, and you will have more confidence when you go and sit in an interview. It's up to you. See, again, it's all about the time. If you have time, you can do try to crack one project each in one of these in all of these DB platforms. If you don't have time, you pick a platform and complete your project in there. And other thought process is, if you are targeting for a specific job in a specific database platform, let's say that you feel that there are more openings for Postgres, then take up the project on Postgres. Do first project and second project or third project as time permits on this single platform only. Okay. SQL projects for beginner: project completion plan. ideally aim to complete 2 projects. See, anyhow I'll be doing 1 project during the regular Zoom classes, and you will be doing your first project. Definitely you might need some guidance when you are doing your first project, but you need to go for the second project and try to do it independently. Even when you are in the second project, if you are requiring some guidance, then you have to go to third project, and you have to go to fourth, fifth, until you reach a point where you can independently complete the project end to end. Okay, important note: choose one project and complete all 7 assignments for that project. Here I need to exit the full screen and show you the our website. So I would prefer to go to the projects using this header link, SQL projects. So these are our 8 projects. Okay, and under each project we have 7 assignments. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have chosen a project here, try to complete all the assignments from here. Don't jump around. Like, let's say that you are doing a DDL assignment as part of company management, and then you are doing DML as part of student management. That will be very hard, because when you are doing a DDL assignment, you need the tables. You will be creating the tables, and you will use the same tables in DML assignment, and again you will be using the same data to write your DQL select statements, and you will use the same table, same data to write the queries for your dashboard. So let's say I'm going to click this. So I will be going to the individual lesson here, and here see, let's say this is chapter 7. Chapter 7 has 4 assignments. Okay, so the first one is for company management, and then if you click this second one, it will be for a different project. So don't get confused with this. Follow the links provided in the SQL projects. Okay, this approach will ensure a deep understanding of a chosen domain while progressively mastering SQL skills. Moving on, SQL project assignments. As I showed you, each project will have 7 assignments. Okay, let's go through these assignments in detail. So let me pick up a project. So I can pick this project. So the DDL assignment, if you click this, you will have questions. See, mostly we have already designed the tables for you, because this designing is done by a data modeler or a data architect, which will be at a much higher senior level. So we have given the table structure and definitions and data types for you. All you have to do is you have to come up with the SQL statement to create these tables. Okay, so this is your 5th assignment, where you will be creating your tables. You have to answer all the questions here, and then moving forward in the chapter 3, you have to create about 15 to 20 tables. You will have 15 to 20 questions in your this is chapter 5. See, chapter 3 is just to introduce you to the concept of tables, rows and columns. So this won't be used in your assignments down the road in your project. This is for you to get the taste of what a table is, how to name a table, how to have columns. You might, so this is like a rough work for you to get your hands on to the tables and columns before you enter the your real project. Okay, so your real project starts with the DDL assignment chapter 5. You'll be creating tables and columns here, and then after you do that, then your second assignment will be DML. So here you will be using the same tables you created in chapter 5 assignment, and then here you will be inserting data, you will be updating data, and then you will be using complex SQL queries, like using upset concept. You will be updating the tables using joins. You will be deleting records. You will also delete using a join. You will be truncating. So you will perform all these operations on the tables that were created in chapter 5. So chapter 6 is your DML. And then moving forward, so DML, how many you have? About 20 questions in DML. In DQL, this is where you will be writing about 150 queries against the same tables and same data that you created in chapter 5 and 6. So this is your chapter 7 DQL assignment 1. So in chapter 7 you will be doing 2 assignments. This will be the first assignment. So I made sure that you will be working on most of the commands that we will be covering extensively in our Zoom class. So this turns out to be about you will be end up writing about 150 SQL queries to complete this assignment. So after this assignment, again in the chapter 7, you have a dashboard reporting assignment, where this will be like about less than 10 queries. So key part is this key visual, writing the queries for the key visuals. Let me take here. So this is the chapter 7 DQL assignment for company management system. Most importantly, you have to write queries to fetch data for such reports. So this is very important. And then, as I said, this will have about less than 20 queries to be written. So use this questions here to answer, to come up with your queries. Most importantly, you have to use this dashboard mockup for you to understand how to frame your query. And then moving forward, the final project is you will have another project, data model assignment. Here you will be using a tool, data modeling tool, to draw the data model. So it's like we have seen this in the previous slides. Let me okay, just I'll show you an example. So you need to come up with a diagram like this in your chapter 8 assignment. Okay, so let me see, where are we? Yeah, so we covered chapter 6, chapter 7, and then finally chapter 10 is very important assignment. Here you will be coding complex stored procedures as part of chapter 10. This will be the last assignment. You'll be coding stored procedures. These are the questions for your stored procedures, and then you will be writing database views, you'll be writing database functions, and you'll be writing database triggers. So anyhow, as I said, I will be doing all this in live class for one project, and you can use that as a base to do the same on your project. Okay, and other thing is, we have given mockups in the chapter 10. If you are, say, let's say you are taking a banking application, then in the chapter 10 of the banking application you have markup screens. So you can use these screens to understand your project better, how to query, how to make sure that the output of your results are matching to the desired formats. Okay, so every project has a markup. I recommend you guys go through that markup. Okay, and then moving forward, and how to submit your assignments. Okay, yeah, so we covered this, and then you will be submitting your assignments so that your mentor or project guide will review and give the feedback. So the way you submit is and the project will be marked completed only after successful approval from your mentor guide. Okay, uh, create a new Google Drive folder in your Google login and name it accordingly as per the recommendations. This will be the link where you can go, and you need to have a Gmail ID for this, and then you create a Google Drive folder. Okay, and I'll be showing you in our regular Zoom class how to do this. Share your Google Drive folder. After you create the folder, you have to share it with the email of your mentor or guide, and then you have to upload your files into this Google Drive folder. Okay, key points is assignment not adhering to naming or folder standards may delay the review process. So this will be your Google Drive folder name. You need to mention your name and your batch ID, and then this will be the individual files. Like this is for the chapter 5 assignment, this is for chapter 6 assignment. So if you are doing a project on MySQL, use the keyword MySQL in the file name. If you are doing it on Postgres, use Postgres as keyword, and then this bank is the name of the project. If you are doing company, you say chapter 5 DDL Postgres company.sql. So use this, and I will be see, if once you join our course, you will be getting raw files. So I'll be sharing the raw files for one of the application to you, so that you can also go into the files and see how you write your queries, answers, selects, inserts, updates, so that it will be easy for us to review. Okay, and then in chapter 10, if you are writing a stored procedure, we recommend to create one file for each stored procedure, and then one file for each trigger, and then one file for each database view, and then one file for each function you end up writing. And then like we have covered this in chapter 2, like a software architecture. Let's say that you are doing a food delivery app, right? So the end-to-end food delivery app, when it's published on the internet, it will have a front end, it will have a back end logic, and it will have a database logic. So the project that you will be doing, the assignments that you will be doing, will be part of this database layer. You won't be doing front end or back end, because this course is about database developer. So what you do will fit in at this layer, DB layer. So you'll be creating database tables, objects, and publish it to the database, and that will be your task as a database developer. Okay, so this is what presentation layer, business layer, data layer, stores, manages, and retrieves application data, and you will be working on this particular part of the software architecture. Okay. Write SQL projects. Where SQL projects fits in, we discussed it. SQL project focuses on the data layer, the foundation of a software system. The tasks include, you'll be designing database schema, managing data storage and retrieval. Chapter 5, 6, and 7 assignments. You will be optimizing the data access in chapter 10 using stored procedures and views, and you will also ensure that data integrity and security is maintained. All will happen at this level. Your work in SQL projects directly supports the backend layer by enabling efficient data handling for business operations. And then if you talk about the software development lifecycle, you should know, the work you are doing, the assignments you are doing, where do they fit in the real world. As we discussed in chapter 2, there are about 6 to 7 phases in SDLC, software development lifecycle. So what you do, right, it fits at system design and implementation. So that means, so there will be some design part where the senior people will design the data model here, and then in this phase 4 implementation part, there will be developers coding the front end, developers coding the back end logic, and then you will also be involved here as a database developer to write your stored procedures or query, or to do report developing in the stage 4. Okay. And then you will also support testing if there are any bugs found in your database tables or queries or stored procedures. You will be notified at this stage, and then you will have to go and fix those errors. And then you will be involved when you'll be writing your database programs here, logic or codes here, code blocks here. They need to be deployed to the production. So you will be involved in step 4, writing the code, in step 5 when it's tested if there are errors, and you will also be involved when your code will be pushed to the production. Okay. And then if you talk about the roles in the SDLC, right, so in the planning phase, you will be dealing with business analyst, product owner, who will define the business requirements. In the design phase, you will be dealing with solution architect and data architect. Data architect is a person with about 5 to 10 years of experience. So you being the beginner, there will be a data architect on your team, and there will be a data modeler. And in the implementation phase, the IT roles will be like front-end developer, back-end developer. So this is where you fit in terms of the IT roles related to this software development lifecycle. So you'll be working as a database developer or a report developer, and then you won't be involving in testing phase, where QA engineers and database testers will be doing the testing. And in the deployment phase, the roles related to the database will be database administrator. But I want to make sure that this course does not cover the database administration topics or a stream. This course is aimed at you becoming a database developer or report developer at the stage 4 of the SDLC. So these are all different roles involved in completing a software project. And as I have already showed you, we have dashboard markups and website markups. So I recommend you guys to use this. So this is what I meant by markups. This is the website markup. Let's say you are working on a banking. So in general, this is how the screens will be developed, and the customers using the banking mobile app or web app, they will be seeing the data in this format on the web app or mobile app. Okay. So I recommend you use this so that you understand how your data is being used by the end customer. And as I told, this is the dashboard reports. You have to use these markups too. And then these why these mockups are important, like, it clarify the data inputs, outputs, and relationship required. You will see how your data will be formatted, what is required. You can also see when user is logging in, what are the input fields. If you are writing a stored procedure to validate a login, you will see what is coming in from the website and how you are going to use that to say that a login is correct or wrong. And then it enhance workflow understanding. It can be also used as a communication tool between business people and the software development people, so that there are no misalignment or misunderstanding of the requirements. Your mentor at Tansy, every student will be assigned a dedicated mentor guide. Each student is assigned a mentor to support their learning journey. So what will be the mentor doing? Assignment review and approval. He will be reviewing your assignments, and he or she will review and approve the assignments, and he will also guide you in your first project, help students understand the project requirements in depth, answer any questions related to database design queries and workflows. And apart from that, he or she will conduct a mock interviews at end of your project to see if you are ready to crack the real world interviews. Key benefit, personalized mentorship ensures students are job ready and confident in their SQL skills, so that you don't get stuck with your projects, or let's say you have some issue with the group by or some SQL commands, you can take help from your mentor. And finally, what is the outcome of this entire SQL training course at Tansy Academy? So you will gain key skills gained is proficiency in designing and managing relational databases. You'll get hands-on experience during your projects for SQL, data definition language, data manipulation language, and data query language. And also you get experience on advanced topics like database views, triggers, and database store procedures. You will know how to connect the business requirements and how to convert those business requirements into SQL code. And the practical experience front, you will completion of a real world SQL projects covering multiple domains. You have opportunity of doing 8 projects at Tansy Academy. So depending on time, you can get experience on various domains in the sense, you'll be doing a company management software, you'll be working on a banking software, you'll be working like on a social media app like Facebook app, you'll be working on a food delivery app. So it's up to you which domain you want to choose, pick and choose. Exposed to database development and query optimization. So you'll be writing a lot of queries. Maybe you'll be writing about 500 plus queries to complete your project. Career readiness, once you do the projects, if you're not confident after project 1, complete the project 2. Even after you are not confident in project 2, after project 2, go for project 3. But you go to a point where you are job ready and you are confident enough to tackle SQL interview questions through mock-up interview sessions that we conduct, and expertise to apply for roles like database developer, data analyst, and SQL programmer. At the end, once you successfully complete your project and your project is approved by your project guide, then you will be receiving a SQL certification validating your skills and project completion. So if anyone has any doubt beyond this detailed explanation of the project, you can contact us on social at tansyacademy.com, or you can go and fill up a contact form at our website tansyacademy.com.